Hi guys, it's Bible Girl, and welcome to another episode of R&R. Today's chapter from the Deathly Hallows is The Elder Wand. It starts right where we left off. The characters are so overcome with absolute grief from Fred's death. In fact, Percy won't let go of his body, and Harry's mind is in a place where he can't initially understand why the world is still going on when his world is broken apart. In fact, the opening of this chapter greatly reminds me of the episode of Buffy called The Body, where Buffy's mother has died, and the entire world is still going on. People are getting parking tickets. There's stupid drama at Dawn's school. It's all just supposed to show that the world doesn't stop for our grief. It sucks, but it doesn't. But Aragog's descendants come out, and they're attacking. So they go and they hide the body. And as soon as they do that, Percy goes out, and he's full of rage and grief, and goes out to attack and fight. And Ron wants to go too. He is very verbal about it. He's like, I want to kill Death Eaters. He wants to avenge his brother. Hermione is the one that pulls him back. And Harry's mind is also going through the similar sentiment, but Hermione mentions they have to destroy the Horcruxes. This is going to be their way of making sure that the fight is won. So Hermione asks Harry to look through the connection between his mind and Voldemort to see if they can find out where he is. So he does connect to it and sees that they're in the Shrieking Shack. And Voldemort is with Lucius, who at this point is, for the first time in every novel he's been a part of, acting like a dad. He is begging Voldemort to stop the fighting, and you can totally tell it's for Draco's safety, but he's saying something like, what if someone accidentally kills Harry and it's not you? To which Voldemort points out he knows Harry's coming. He also tells Lucius to go get Snape. So Harry gets out of the mind connection after noticing that Nagini is in a force field type situation. So the trio starts arguing over who's going to be the one to do it. And what happens in the course of all that is the battle is just raging on. It's going intense. Peeves is attacking. I miss Peeves from the movies. I wish they would have put Peeves in the movies because he's super awesome. And Lavender gets attacked by Greyback. And the novel is very ambiguous as to her fate. There's nothing about her in the future at all. And then websites like Harry Potter Wikia and things like that all consistently say there's nothing specific about her fate. We don't know. And Joe hasn't told us, although I have heard that the movie is supposed to specify for movie continuity whether she lived or died. However, in the course of this, Trelawney is throwing crystal balls down and attacking Death Eaters, which is just pretty awesome. But we have that awesome moment, and then Hagrid is dragged away by Aragog's descendants, and it's kind of, an interesting juxtaposition here, because we're seeing Harry the Orphan and the Acrolantias, tarantulas, I'm so bad at pronouncing those words, as the orphans, and Harry's off to do a righteous deed, while without their father, Aragog's descendants have gone in the dark side, and they're going against their father's wishes. They're not helping Hagrid. In fact, they're turning him over to Voldemort, which is the opposite of what his father would have wanted, and they wouldn't really be there if it weren't for Hagrid. Draco's also there, and a Death Eater is trying to kill him. And he's begging, no, I'm on your side, I'm Draco Malfoy, I'm Draco Malfoy. And our trio saves him again. Now, the Dementors come. And Harry is so overcome by the grief and depression, everything that's going on. I mean, a second ago, giants were attacking, and Ron's super protective of Hermione, and the relationship's totally static and strong there, but Harry is slipping, and he's feeling lost and in pain. And so he can't defend himself. Ron and Hermione try to do Patronuses to help, but it's not working. So out comes Luna, Ernie, and Seamus, and they produce Patronuses, and they start pushing back the Dementors. And Luna comes to Harry's side, and she helps him get the strength, get enough happiness in him to produce a Patronus. And it's perfect that it's Luna that does this, because Luna is practically a Patronus all on her own. Even, like, her hair is very light, and she's almost like a Silphoid Patronus, but she's so full of joy and optimism and heart. And always, like, right there in the middle of the battle, just like, good job to people. And so it would make sense that she's the one that helps Harry produce his Patronus, and it's really beautiful. So our trio makes it to the Whomping Willow, and this little section right here is this fantastic moment to show how much our characters have grown. Eventually, they're trying to figure out how to get in the hole and whatnot. So Ron uses Wingardium Leviosa to figure out how to get to the path. And if I'm remembering the books correctly, I know in the movies, but if I'm remembering the books correctly, Wingardium Leviosa is either the first spell they learn or one of the very first ones. And it's really just fantastic, because it's something from when they were 11 that's now coming into play at the very end. And then they go into the tunnel, and they haven't been there since they were third years. And they noticed how much smaller it is and how much harder it is to get around in there, because they're so much taller and bigger. And it's just showing how they've aged and grown, and that they're adults now. So finally they do get to the Shrieking Shack, but they're hiding, they're underneath stuff, they're not visible. They see Voldemort and they see Snape. And Voldemort is going on and on to Snape, and Snape's just saying, well, allow me to go back to the battle, my lord, I want to go get Potter for you. And Voldemort goes again, you don't understand. None of you guys understand. Potter's going to come. He's going to come here because he must come here. He'll find me. And then he starts going on about how he hasn't been able to defeat Harry. And he was with his wand and Lucius's wand, and it just hasn't worked. And he's holding the Elder Wand. And he says the only way he can defeat Harry is by truly becoming the master of the Elder Wand. And the only way he believes he can do that is as if he causes the death of Severus. Because Snape killed the former master of the Elder Wand. And he says, kind of like an off-guard, oh, I'm sorry, apology, that means nothing. He has no emotion, no care towards it, no actual sympathy. He leaves and he gets Nagini to attack Snape. Snape is lying there on the floor of the Shrieking Shack dying. And Harry doesn't know why, but he feels like drawn to go to him. And he's over Snape's body, and Snape gives him a memory. And Snape's last words are, look at me. He's staring into Harry's eyes. And the reason why that's so important is in the next chapter, and spoiler to the next chapter, because Snape was always in love with Lily, and Harry has Lily's eyes. And so he wanted one last second to look at the eyes of the person he loved the most in the entire universe. So that, my friends, is the Elder Wand. Tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be The Prince's Tale, arguably my second favorite chapter in the entire Harry Potter series, and honestly a very good story unto itself, so they could make a movie about it. Pretty cool. Actually, I'd love the Stargate people to make a musical off of just that chapter. It would be awesome. But, yeah, tune in tomorrow for that. Actually, tomorrow's going to start the section I like the most out of the series. It starts from A Prince's Tale into the epilogue. I love what goes on there, and it's my favorite part of the book. That section is awesome. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Bye.